И всем привет! В прошлой части мы закончили с Рери. Он посетил нашу базу Сандрона, все это там разгромил. Дальше я продолжаю. Часть части с Нефер. Сейчас мы будем исследовать прошлое Рери.
So this is your method for investigating Rere's past. It almost looks like some kind of ceremony.
Good deduction. But it's quite a different affair from what you're used to with the Frost Moons.
Whoa! First time I've ever been in here. Boss always said it was off limits, so I pictured some kind of creepy dungeon. Oh, I guess this must be Sumero decor? That's where Boss is from. And that nice shopkeeper who sold me my treasure compass.
I'm not sure exactly what you've got planned, but it looks like you're all set.
Whenever we wish. But for some reason, I've got a feeling this isn't going to end well. I've never faced Reri myself, but from what you've told me, his power is beyond anything. I, on the other hand, am just an ordinary businesswoman. Our paths should never have crossed, yet...
If you ask me, you're about as far from ordinary as it gets. So what are you saying? You're getting...
Once I take a job, there's no backing out. Still, I have to ask myself if the power I'm relying, and also how to make sure I come out of this alive. Death is the one thing we can take for granted. It is the great equalizer, however fortunate or unfortunate we may otherwise be. So it's important to consider how to spend what lifespan we have left.
Come on, boss. Lighten up. Quit talking about death. It's bad luck.
For once, I agree with you. When you're up against a foe like Reri, there's no such... Is there anything I can do to help?
That won't be necessary. I've already made up my mind. Time to cash in a That shady merchant who sold you an overpriced...
Come on, boss. You're pulling my leg again. In what way is she shady? She showed up when I was completely lost and sold me a neat little gadget that was exactly what I needed. Anyway, I know who you're talking about. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Hey, aren't you...
What is it? What's the big rush? You dragged me out of a dream where I was literally swimming in Mora. I'm charging double my usual attendance fee. See, look how easygoing she is. After that rude awakening, she could have completely snapped at us. But instead, she kept it together and just asked for an extra fee.
Конечно, доброе. Это море очень доброе.
Dori Sangama Bay? I never would have pictured you two doing business together.
If you want to make it big and not cry, it's all about connections. Lady Nefer just so happens to have a lot of intel that interests me. And she also did me a big favor in the past. It was back when I first arrived in Not Cry. My trusty assistant, the genie in my lamp, had an adverse reaction to the Kuvaki and fainted. And when you know it, that's when I suddenly find myself in a life-or-death situation. Good thing I've been giving her a 30% discount off all of my goods ever since. Now, so that no one here feels left out, I'm willing to extend a 20% discount to fellow friends of Boss Nefer, plus any other friends you send my way will enjoy 10% off. Huh, what can I say? The great Lord Sangamabe. So, let me guess. You've run into some trouble. I've got everything you could possibly need. And the more you buy, the more you'll save.
You guessed correctly. What have you got in the way of survival gear?
The one type of gear I've never been short on. What are you looking for? A jetpack fresh from the Academia's labs? An ancient suit of armor. Dread, at the very least. I need to know what kind of opponent you're dealing with here. If even you're worried about staying alive, it must be pretty...
What if I told you it's someone with the power to bring a nation to its knees?
Is that so? Then we really are talking top-shelf treasures.
Your supply?
A powerful woman, make no mistake. I can't reveal her identity, but luckily for you, I hear she's planning to visit Notcry in the near future. If you're willing to wait, I can ask her when she's here. Can't say exactly how long.
Then let me put it another way. What would you do if you encountered an enemy like that? Roll over and serve yourself up on a silver platter?
Of course not. I have a handy little trinket from one of my generous suppliers, which... Hold on. What exactly are you getting at? No, this is...
Let's just say I'm borrowing it, all right? Just for insurance purposes. You'll get it back later. Favors are the worst kind of debt to owe, and now you've got a chance to repay one. A win-win situation, don't you think?
Fine. You can borrow it for 5 days. No, make that 3. And for every extra hour after that, I'm charging you 1,000,000 more. Deal?
Deal.
Не нашли друг друга.
What a way to start the day. Now, was there anything else you wanted? Or can I go back to bed now?
That will be all. Take care now. Don't trip up on your way back, friend.
See you later! You're my favorite shopkeeper.
Excellent. Everything is well and truly ready. The ceremony can now begin. After initiating the ceremony, your minds will follow me wherever I go. So remember, don't be frightened. Now then, let us peer into the Raker of Solnari's past.
Прикольно.
I made
Я
it.
тоже хотела иметь.
I don't recognize this style of architecture. Must be Conrian. Simple furnishings, table and chairs. It's a more ordinary house than I might have expected. Looks like the fearsome Raker of Solnari came from surprisingly humble beginnings. Unless this passed for luxury in Conria. Unlikely. It was said to be a very prosperous nation in its heyday. Anyway, I'll keep exploring.
Hi, Reri. Since you're working extra hours tonight, I thought I'd keep myself busy by checking out that new kebab shop. I'll test it out, and if it's as good as everyone's saying, let's go back together sometime.
Он, походу, потерял свою любимую, поэтому мстит.
P.S. New stash from the Universitas Magistrorum. I brought some goodies home. A few teacups and a pin rack. Hope you like them.
They didn't sign their name, but they must have been close.
I went over to Joseph's for drinks today. They have a fine collection, but I went alone. Felindis was tied up with something and couldn't make it.
Что-то знакомое.
Joseph asked why I came alone, but I didn't really have an answer. He then went on to ask about other things. If you ask me, someone who asks that many personal questions is too
Это он
nosy for their
ее
own
имя
good.
называл на поле боя.
But if he invites me again, chances are I'd still go.
Felindis. That's the same name Reri mentioned.
Crane imports keep falling. If things don't pick up, we'll soon be back to meat and mushrooms only. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of that new type of mushroom everyone's been into lately. Didn't it start out as a lab-grown variety? I heard it's even mildly corrosive. Seriously, why would you even eat something like that? I don't care if it's an impressive feat of alchemy. That just isn't the kind of thing I like to eat.
Grain has to be imported, and they're eating a diet of mostly meat and mushrooms. Could it be because Conria is underground, so it doesn't get much sunlight? That would explain why they use so much stone in their buildings. They even use alchemically modified strains for food. Seems like the people of Conria don't have many options when it comes to dining.
I've just about saved up enough now. Time to buy it and keep it somewhere safe.
Making a big purchase. He really is a professional. No wonder he's so good at cover. Despite what he's become, it seems like he's retained certain habits. Did Reri rip it out himself?
Before I met you, I was convinced that my heart was nothing more than a stagnant pool. The burial place of a fallen moon. A withered, windless grove where the waters rested forever unrippled. It was you who helped me see that my heart hadn't entirely withered away. That it could still beat to the rhythm of love.
This is just trivial sentimentality from the looks of it. Why would he go to the trouble of hiding that? The burial place of a fallen moon.
Reri, over here.
Dane! Oh, and, Vedelson here? What a surprise to see you here, sir.
Hello there, Reri. You need not address me so formally outside of court. He doesn't get that much free time, so I invited him over for a drink. Even the court prophet deserves a break every now and then, right?
Well, I'm flattered.
So, what are we discussing today?
Hey, don't look at me. As far as I see it, we don't need an excuse to have a few drinks.
Come on, don't give us that. Didn't you say you were about to pop the big question? As
Who'd have thought the great Twilight Sword was an even...
I just didn't expect you to be the first one to settle down and get married, that's all.
Yeah. If you told me that a few years ago, I wouldn't have believed you either.
So, are you planning to come clean about your job then? I'm guessing you still haven't told her.
Sure, I'll have to tell her at some point. but I'll need to pick the right time and place. To be honest, I have no idea how she'll take it.
Come on, stop being such a pessimist. For all you know, she could be thrilled. I bet she'll be much more impressed by your actual job than the one she thinks you're doing now. A member of the King's Guard. Quite the cover story. Does the king himself even know?
Of course he does. Anyway, enough about me. How have you been?
Me? Same old, nothing much to... Huh? What's up, Ved?
It's nothing. Vedifulnir, Dainsleif's elder brother. Renowned throughout the court of Conrad as the Visionary. And yet, despite the gulf between us, he seems to have something to say about me. Does he even know me? Does he see me as a friend of his brother, or just another of the Vinster King's blades? Why did he react so strongly? Was it really to do with what we were talking about?
Brown, curly hair and brooding blue eyes. So perfectly normal. No different from anyone else. As frightening as this monster is in the present, there's something even more unsettling about seeing the human he used to be.
Felindis? You're back early?
Our equipment's being serviced today, so I got off earlier than usual. How's your day been? Aw, why the long face? Is something the matter? Has your boss been giving you a hard time again?
Went for a drink with Dane and the others after work.
Isn't that a good thing?
Vedifulnir showed up today, too. You know, Dane's...
Ah, Mr. Vedifulnir. Yes, I've heard of him.
He overheard Dainsleif mention that I'd recently proposed, and seemed to have an issue with it. But when I asked what it was, he kept it to himself.
So, you're worried? You can be such a child sometimes, Reri. We're nobodies. Why would the Visionary be concerned about us? I'm sure someone in his position has much bigger fish to fry. You worry too much, Reri. We've been together for ages now, and everything's been going...
So, you do remember?
Like I said, I need some time to decide. You can't just rush into things like this. We may be nobodies in the grand scheme of things, but if we want...
All right. Take your time. Just don't keep me
Нет,
waiting
серьезно, почему у
forever.
меня глаза другие? Вижу у всех
Nobody's.
звездочки.
Sounds about right. In the eyes of people like Vedifulnir and Dainsleif, what do we matter? Can someone whose gaze is so fixed on a far-flung future even see the present clearly? Besides, the dynasty's fate rests with the king and his inner circle. Meanwhile, every idea they come up with and every decision they make, it affects everything. These days, the opposition tried to speak out, but nothing came of it. And I'm under no illusions as to why. Because we eliminated them and got rid of their bodies. A man can have 1,000 reasons to carry a sword, but there are few good excuses to use it. Yet the king has never even considered a gentler approach, and he never will. What becomes of someone who kills on another's behalf? Can he ever find true peace? Felindis? It's nothing. You were right. fate has never smiled. There's no reason we can't keep living happily together, cherishing the simple joys of each day as they come.
See? You just need to stay positive, Revere. I can feel your warmth, your breath. You're right there, right by my side. Just seeing you makes me happy in a way I can't explain. And that's something that no one could ever take away from me.
You're right, Thelundis.
That's better. Getting caught up about things like this will only ruin our evening. Speaking of which, all set for the ball tonight?
You go ahead. I just have a few things.
Even busier than the big shots, huh? Fine, I'll go get started. But don't be late. If you keep me waiting too long...
Relax. I'll be there. Seriously, though, you drive a hard bargain. You're really gonna leave my proposal hanging and...
Well, that goes without saying. I already told everyone. Besides, they're two completely different things.
All right. White outfit it is.
It seems like Reri was deliberately hiding his ties to the intelligence services by giving the impression he clearly doesn't want his would-be fiancé to know about his other life. Then again, who'd have thought we were in the same line of work? Let's dig a little deeper.
Our last operation was a resounding success, and all thanks to you, Rei here of Solnari. In total, we apprehended 32 dregs of the Crimson Moon, and 67 accomplices.
After all these years since the dynasty's fall, so many of them still linger on.
Indeed, it cannot be denied. Yet it was destiny that the Crimson Moon should be overcome by the eclipse, and that His Majesty, the all-seeing Vinster King, now guides our nation on the path to prosperity. Conria has no further need for a dead moon. But alas, there will always be those who refuse to see the truth, choosing instead to
That's not entirely true. Much about the Crimson Moon era was worthy of remembrance. And that's exactly why they keep trying to see it restored. Many of its secrets remain unsolved to this day. As it happens, that's precisely the field of study my partner is devoted.
You still haven't told her what you really do for a living.
Where would I even start? How do you tell someone that you're one of the king's hand-picked executioners?
You didn't choose this life, any more than I did.
But I'll sure as heck be the one to pay for it. Speaking of which, we need to be more rigorous in the way we identify direct descendants of the Crimson Moon. Someone, it seems, has strong opinions about my future plans. Most likely my marriage in particular.
Your concerns are not unfounded. They've taken out many of our colleagues these past few years, and for that very reason. These are no helpless lambs we're leading. Take care, Rei here of Solnari.
Thanks, Thorkel. Thelundis, I never wanted to keep this from you. You're the last person I would ever want to lie to. But that's exactly why I can't tell you everything. There are things you shouldn't know. The moonlit dynasties are a thing of the past. Yet even now, with the sun shining high in the sky, there are those who would call forth a dead moon's ghost. Could that be why Vedalfnir held back? Or was it because of some court secret I have to get a clear answer from him. No matter what happens.
Reri seems to be very concerned by Vedalfnir and Dainsleif, the Visionary and Twilight Soul. I've investigated this whole area now. Should I try somewhere else? Wait a second. What's this black smoke?
So, he's late after all. Just you wait, Reri.
Are you waiting for someone, ma'am? Could I tempt you into buying some flowers?
Oh, sure.
Pick me, thank you. But I'm afraid none of them are as pretty as you.
For someone so young, you sure have a way with
I'm only telling the truth. Look me in the eyes. you'll see I'm not lying.
Ketemu kaum.
You're...
May we have a word in private?
Who are you? And what do you want?
It doesn't matter who I am. Too many of our kind have fallen lately, so not long ago, the Rey here of Solnari led an assault on one of our strongholds. We suffered many casualties, and many who came to our aid lost their lives as well.
Sorry, I don't know why you're telling me this. And I don't want to get involved.
Wait, hear me out. This time we finally got a clear look at his face and learned his name is Reri, and he claims to be one of the King's guards.
What did you say?
A cruel irony, isn't it? The man you're set to marry leads a double life as a brutal executioner. But surely, you must have caught...
Why are you telling me all of this?
Simple.
How strange. Reri was nowhere to be seen. Reri couldn't possibly know what happened if he wasn't. Why would her memories appear in his fragment? The ceremony won't last much longer.
So that was your doing? Did you just pull us inside Rerir's?
Any more questions, and I'll have to start
I had no idea you could do that, boss! I gotta admit, though, I'm itching to see what happens next.
I'm just as curious as you are. But the ceremony only allows for... Luckily, we managed to learn quite a lot.
So far, so good. I just hope the other, especially the group with the Traveler, their mission...
If you're worried about them, go see how they...
If I know boss, she's gonna need some time to write up all the details and make sure it's all